welcome back to Movie Ivy, the space where musicals get judged by someone who doesn't usually cry in them, and that's me being 1,000% honest here. But this time, yes, I cried. More than once, actually. More like 3 times. So, let's talk about it. Wicked for Good, the emotional full circle continuation to the first film, and the final chapter in Elphaba and Glinda's whole story. I'm so excited to talk about this. Truly, truly, truly. But before we get into it, we have to have a quick synopsis of the film. So, Wicked for Good kind of just picks up right after the events of part 1, Wicked, just continuing the story of Elphaba and Glinda as Oz has kind of like fallen deeper into the political disarray that we saw in the first film. And then Dorothy arrives, of course. The lines between myth, truth, and legacy kind of begin to blur with all this happening. And for everyone involved, especially Elphaba and Glinda, the future of Oz is kind of, and their friendship really just hangs in the balance. That's the synopsis of the film. Now that we got that out of the way, let's just hop right into the review. Now, I'll be completely honest, my first impression of the second movie wasn't even about the movie itself, honestly. It was about the whole press run that I see going on right now, or saw going on. Watching Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo kind of promote this film together, and their chemistry really stood out to me, and yeah, their chemistry really stood out to me. It was like a big thing. And based on that chemistry, I figured the movie would like revolve heavily around their relationship. And I was right. This is coming from someone that hasn't seen the play, by the way. So haven't seen the play. But I was right about that. This film is really about sisterhood to me. It's about bonds formed, broken, and kind of being remade. And it leads into like that dynamic completely, in my opinion. So let's talk about what worked in this movie, because there are things that worked, but there's of course a few things that didn't work because no movie is perfect. And honestly, almost everything worked in this movie for me. Like the acting was like really locked in. Nobody was like a bad actress, I would say. Every performer showed up with like purpose and presence. Vocally, everyone brought what they needed to bring along besides one character, but we'll get to that later. The production was stunning to me. Sure, the colors could have been brighter, but I feel like it still did a great job. The costuming was amazing. The set design, the CGI looked really good, and color grading was good. All of it was like really layered, thoughtful, and just polished. Like, there wasn't really a moment where I felt pulled out of the whole experience of being in Oz. Like, they did really, really well with that. No, like, it is not like, sorry. It wasn't like, this is too sing-songy for me. There you go. Or why are we doing this song number? I got that out correctly. Thank you. No one was really breaking character. It was emotionally tight, it was visually rich, and I didn't complain about the music, which is usually my biggest problem with musicals, the music. Even the wizard, I have to say, who's usually like a one-note character, and like I had like a nuance here, I would say. Like, I didn't hate him. I understood him to a degree, which kind of made him harder to pin down. And yeah, I didn't hate his character. Like, the entire cast held their weight. No one really overshadowed anyone else. It was like a really balanced ensemble where every piece really mattered. Like, they couldn't do this without the other type of thing. But now, of course, no film is perfect, like I said earlier. And where it struggled for me was pacing, I would have to say. Especially in the second half of the movie. Like, the film takes its time kind of exploring Elphaba, Glinda, Nessa Rose, and Fiyero in the beginning. Like, they take their time with that, and I was really with it. I love when they do that. But then when we get to like the second part of the movie, and when Dorothy enters and it's whole the hunt the witch type of thing, the whole thing kind of just speeds up from there. And now I'm not saying I needed more of Dorothy as a character, but if we're going to like connect this film to the Wizard of Oz and just kind of make it good in general, I needed like the Buck tin the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion reveals to have more weight to them, and like the Dorothy thing. Like, I needed that to have more weight. Like, that, they rushed through that entire thing, which kind of messed up a little bit of the story. And then the emotional bridge wasn't there with those characters, and it kind of felt like they were just like pushing to get to the finale. Like if you didn't watch the first one, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you wouldn't understand the whole Scarecrow, Tin Man, Bach, and Fiero kind of thing. And speaking of things that didn't land, Michelle Yeoh's, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, I'm sorry, musical number, I love Michelle. Okay, truly, she's a great actress. But vocally, she didn't match the rest of this like powerhouse cast. Her and Jeffrey Goldblum did not match the rest of this powerhouse cast. Her voice really didn't have like the same presence, and it just stood out in a bad way. And it stood out so much that I kind of forgot that she even had a singing part until I went back and thought about it later, because it stood out to me so bad. Like she's just talking, I'm like, maybe this isn't singing, maybe it's how I rationalize it in my head, and that's just kind of, that was bad. Like it was really underwhelming. It is not because she didn't try, but because she was surrounded by like vocal heavyweights, and like the contrast just felt too stark. Like maybe they should have just voice dubbed her. Sorry. But now on to some of my favorite moments. One that stuck out to me was the trio scene. Elphaba, Glinda, and the wizard singing about being wonderful. I really loved that scene. Maybe just because I felt like seeing Glinda and Elphaba reunited and singing again felt really nice. Like it just had enough sweetness and nostalgia to make it land without going over the top, in my opinion. But my number one favorite scene in this whole movie is the final duet between Elphaba and Glinda, like the For Good song. It was absolutely everything. It was emotional, it was honest, it was powerful. They're acknowledging the ways that they both changed each other, not always for the better, so to say, as the song says, but changed because of each other. It really hit hard. The song hit so hard for me, and it was just really hit harder than I expected. I don't know what to say. It was sisterhood. It was a goodbye, and it really felt like a finale in the best way possible. Like this is when I shed most of my tears during that scene in this song. So that's my favorite. Also, I have to give credit where it is due. The decision to never show Dorothy's face was entertaining. I did love it. Like I understand it was for copyright reasons, but it was still just so funny how they executed it. Like, and the commitment to the bit is something I just really admired, because like even if she like Dorothy turned her head like to look over her shoulder, you still wouldn't see her face. Like it worked and it was funny. And honestly, I love the commitment to it. Honestly, I wish I could stick to anything in life the way that they kind of like stuck to like not showing her face, like doing peekaboos with it. Even though I know it was copyright reasons, but it was, again, it's still so funny. I loved it. And then there's a moment where Elphaba sings about Oz, and yeah, how yes is broken. Yes, it's pushing people like her and the animals out, but it is still home to her. It is still their home. They have to fight for it. That moment hit for me. It didn't just fit the story. It kind of mirrored real world conversations about belonging and like justice and fighting for a better life in the future, like what we're having right now. Like fighting for a better future even when your home doesn't always want you to fight for it. Like it just like it was a great reflection. I don't know. It was subtle, but it was effective, and it added depth without breaking the fantasy, like without breaking the fourth wall. In my opinion, I love that. Now, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about the ending of this movie, because I absolutely loved it. Like Elphaba and Fiero getting to like disappear and live their life in peace finally, and being in love without being judged for it. Glinda becomes Glinda the Good and finally kind of finds her own voice. Finally, it's taken forever. It's really bittersweet because their friendship ends in a way. Like yes, but it's just beautiful. Like it's rare that a film pulls off multiple forms of closure that all feel earned in a way. Like, if you understand what I'm saying. But this one did. It gave me everything I didn't know I really needed. Everyone got a version of their own, like, little happy ending, different paths they went down. But everybody got peace all around. Everybody got peace. That was the moral of that ending. I don't know if that sounded right. Oh, and then one last thing. I want to spoil this entire movie for you, truly. I want to like walk through every single scene. I want to talk about everything. Like I want to talk about every emotional moment, like every clever bit of justice that gets delivered, but I feel like I can't. Like you really just need to like witness and watch this one for yourself. I would say it's a layered movie, and watching the characters and their character arcs unfold in real time is just part of the magic. And I don't know how to tell you more without taking away from like how powerful those moments feel when you're actually watching it for yourself. So this is like why the review is so short. I don't want to ruin it for you. Except one last thing I have to say is I have to mention this. The CGI, the aging at the end was kind of awful. I didn't like that part. I didn't know what happened there, but it was like giving low budget filter. Like it just looked so bad. Like I don't want to be mean, but it genuinely looked like someone just like dragged the youth slider in an editing app and like called it a day. Like I don't know what that was. It pulled me out of the story. Sadly, it became more of a laugh than anything. So I'm just like, you can't be fucking serious. Like we were so close to perfect, so close. But then I saw that and I was like, the fuck is this? So, yes, this review might feel a little bit more emotional than usual. Sorry about that. But that's just because Wicked for Good really kind of delivered for me. It was amazing. I literally cried 3 times. That never happens. It's visually stunning, it's emotionally grounded, it's musically rich, and it's just deeply heartfelt. Like, if you've seen part one, this is the closure you deserve. This is what you deserve. If you haven't, just go kind of make a double feature night of it because seeing them like back to back, back to back is probably the best way to really experience the journey that these movies take you on. Yeah, me personally, this one is a must watch. Easily, you must watch it even if you don't like musicals. It's just really good. It doesn't really feel like a musical. It was really well done in that way. And the only thing I probably regret is not watching this in a double feature way. So just like to see the one long journey and like it make more sense or be funner that way. Sorry. But yeah. This has been Movie Ivy. Catch you in the next review. Drop what you think what I should watch next in review. Let me know. Bye-bye.